This is a tweet that I made on my Twitter account recently, as you can tell by the date. And this is something that has been put in front of me as a problem that many people in the black community seem to have. Now, I remember a few years ago, and this is before I started doing YouTube, I had put a comment somewhere, or maybe it was on Twitter, when I said, I believe that well, at the time, PC wasn't a terminology except for political correctness. But of course, you know, when I say PC, it doesn't mean that. I said, I believe white people have a problem with symbolism, or they need every bit of symbolism that they can possibly get their hands on because it makes them feel good. But then over the years, I said, I started to shift that thinking. And I said, I think it might be black people taking the cake when it comes to the whole symbolic thing and what they want people to see them as in order to get acceptance from a certain group of people. Which led me to this tweet that I posted on March 29, 2022. I said, this Will Smith situation exposed so much to the point I'm actually glad it happened. One major thing it made me notice is how much approval black folks are craving from white people. The amount of quote unquote, look at how it makes us look tweets I saw is astronomically high. And not even just the tweets, but from people who have made videos and streams and different commentaries as well. It's just wild to me how many black people keep saying this whole, you know, they're not going to like this, or, you know, this is why they look at it this way and all types of stuff this way. Listen, F what they think. They're going to think of us in any type of capacity anyway, even if this did not happen, because it's a preconceived notion that many of them already have of us anyway. And they're always looking for a reason to use or go off on that particular notion. So stop trying to seek out their approval when you know good and damn well that they do not like you or care about you in that capacity. Just like I think someone had replied to this post where they were saying how, I forgot what it was, but it was something about negative, or how, you know, how they're seeing us as a collective on certain things. I said, yeah, they'll see us as a collective when it's a negative thing, but if it's a positive thing, they're only relegated to that one positive imagery or that one positive person who it fits with. Meaning, like, if, like, say like my melanated excellence videos that I do, if one person does something positive in that video or in that story, it's only going to be relegated to that one person. But with the Will Smith situation, now they're trying to make blanket statements to everybody. And it doesn't surprise me in the least bit that this thing has extended to a racial bias. Someone had put in my Discord that they had read somewhere that they tried to compare Will Smith to Putin. I'm like, how? You're literally trying to compare a Hollywood actor to a Russian dictator. Are you kidding me? Like, that's how far they're stretching it. Just like when I did or talked about with Judd Apatow, and he tried to say that he could have killed him from a slap. That's overinflating. That's over exaggeration. There's no way that no one can die from a slap. That's no way. That is impossible. And also, to add on to that, because I didn't know at the time when I recorded the video, Judd Apatow didn't even watch the Oscars. So he's just going off of what, you know, whatever he could grab. But these are the same people you're seeking approval from. Unfortunately, it's too many black people who do not know who their real enemy is. Many of them think their enemy is the ones who look like them. Granted, we know we have some enemies within, but we know how a lot of them got there too. They're not your only enemy. Let's be clear about that. Then you had people talking about, oh, Will Smith wouldn't have gone up there and did that if it was a white comedian. First off, how do you know what he would and would not have done? Are you inside of his head? And something tells me if he did go and do that to a white comedian, some of you would turn into Steven from Django after Calvin Candy got shot. Y'all would still act in the same capacity. It's amazing how this guy is like lifted up and praised all these years, and up into this one moment right here, he gets shafted. And now everybody doesn't like him. And I've also noticed too is that people lean more to wherever the majority feels. And because the majority of the people is leaning towards Chris Rock, even though they really shouldn't, considering what we already know about him, that's the way they're going to lean. And because if you're in the minority, then you're just in the minority. And I bet you if the majority lean towards Will Smith, the people who's making these commentaries about supporting Chris Rock would lean more to Will Smith. That's why I can't take many of these individuals seriously. They're like the fair weather friend. They blow in one day and then they're blown out the next. Or going to the other side or whatever the case may be. But yeah, black people, we have got to get out of this mindset of caring about what other people think. I even had someone who replied to me, tried to rationalize this, what I was saying, or try to flip it. No, there's no flipping of this. No. That's why I've always said that when it came to slavery, the mental enslavement always outweighed the physical. Because we may not be on a plantation anymore where we're getting whipped or any other type of physical atrocities, but the mental impact that it had on our ancestors is still carrying on today, which is why you have many black people who are acting just like how I framed this tweet. Because back then they drilled into our ancestors' heads that they were good white folks, to always trust us. We won't lead you into the wrong direction. Don't trust anybody that looks just like you. They're your enemy. They're going to try to take from you. They're going to try to take you out. You're always going to have to, lean on us. And you're going to have to fight for what you have. And if that means killing your own, so be it. I'm willing to bet they said something along those lines and then some. Like I tell you, they don't talk about the mental enslavement capacity nearly enough as the physical. And I feel that the mental part should definitely be talked about a whole lot more, because we're seeing the remnants of that today.